mummy's with the maggots now.
Death has come to your little town, Sheriff.
Well, hi there.
Hello and welcome to Would You Die, the show where, and there was Rocket Man trying to get out, and here comes a cliff, and just before the car went off the cliff, he jumped free, and all the kids cheered. But I didn't cheer. I stood right up and started shouting, "This isn't what happened last week. Have you all got amnesia? They just cheated us. This isn't fair. He didn't get out of the cock-a-doodie car." I'm Austin Torres.
And I'm Anneliese Petersmark.
And I was right.
Yes, Jeremy did predict that your quote would be, "He didn't get out of the cock-a-doodie car."
There's a lot of good quotes from this movie to pick from, but yeah, I love that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think what sells that moment for me is when James Caan's just looking at her like, yeah.
I watched this movie yesterday, and quite literally that scene happened, and I said out loud, "Oh hey, it's Austin's quote."
Anneliese, what quote were you gonna guess me saying?
I don't know that I had one for this
Okay.
one. I guess probably cock-a-doodie car, or the part where she talks about swearing. That one's really good. I don't know the whole quote, but you know where
Yeah.
she's like, "I don't go around saying this and that, and like, here's a big bastard of a check," and all that stuff.
Mhm.
So,
Have we even said the title of the film?
oh right, we're doing Misery.
We're continuing Cold as Ice month, and we, you know what? To pull the curtain back a little bit, this was not on our initial plans. So not to bring the mood down, but last month we lost a legendary filmmaker, Rob Reiner. This is one of the many classics he directed. His other films included A Few Good Men, The Princess Bride, When Harry Met Sally, The Bucket List, This Is Spinal Tap, just banger after banger after banger after banger. Misery is, I don't know, we'll get into it, but rest in peace, Rob Reiner. Rest in peace to his wife as well.
Yeah, we were very glad to be able to kind of switch the schedule around to make this work. So, yeah, it's a privilege to talk about his work and to consume his work and all of that.
It is a little funny. While we were first coming up with drafting this month, like about a year ago, because that's how far we plan things in this household, Misery did come up as one of the contenders, but I specifically remember saying, like, let's not do Misery, because I don't want to do the Misery in next week's episode in a row.
Right.
But then that's exactly what we're doing, and it's fine.
It's not a big deal. I'm sure you'll all enjoy this whole 2-week stretch as it sits. But let's get into it, shall we?
Let's shall.
So, just a brief synopsis. Desperate to get away from the book series that made his fame and fortune, novelist Paul Sheldon takes a trip to finish up his new project. After a car crash leaves him severely injured, he is rescued by former nurse Annie Wilkes, who claims to be his biggest fan. Things take a turn for the worse, however, when Annie finds out that Paul has killed her beloved favorite character. Desperate to escape, Paul and Annie enter into a battle of wills between a woman desperate to reclaim what is lost and an author desperate to move on.
Rest in peace, Annie Wilkes. You would have loved the Star Wars sequel trilogy.
We're going to talk definitely about Annie Wilkes in fan fiction in this episode. I need you to just be like emotionally prepared for that because it's happening whether you are or not.
Can you imagine like the modern remake of Misery, but instead of fictional Paul Sheldon, it's Ryan Johnson?
Oh man. Okay. Yeah.
Kylo Ren's not that hot. He is. Ben Swallow exists.
Yeah, real. So what is your personal connection to this movie? Do you remember watching this movie for the first time or around when you watched it for the first time?
I think I watched this for the first time when I was like college age. It's not one that... So, we didn't mention this yet. but this is a Stephen King adaptation.
Yes.
This is one of the best Stephen King adaptations.
Mm-hmm.
You can make the argument it is the best Stephen King adaptation.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen King says that his 2 favorite adaptations of his work are both Rob Reiner.
I'm assuming Stand By Me
Stand By Me and Misery. Are
I
his
didn't mention
2
Stand By Me earlier. Another banger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Totally.
But those are Stephen King's self-proclaimed 2 favorite adaptations of his work.
It's fine that he's wrong. He's very brilliant. So.
I think his thing was they're the most loyal to his work.
No, absolutely.
Sure.
I'm just kidding. They're phenomenal movies, and by all rights, definitely should be in at least everybody's top 5, in my opinion. So you watched it in college.
I don't think I watched it in high school. I think I was in college when I watched it for the first time. For a while, it was my favorite Stephen King adaptation. And then I saw other movies.
Can I guess?
Well, you know my top 3, I think.
I think we've talked about it, but I don't
Yeah.
remember.
You can guess.
Can I guess your top? Is
Yeah.
it Christine?
Christine's my
Okay,
top.
that's what I thought.
And I looked it up. My earliest, in my Letterboxd era,
Mm-hmm.
my earliest log of Misery was October 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And I put rewatched.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure I watched Misery at some point in college. And I think I watched it with my mom for the first time, but I don't remember.
When did you graduate college again?
2017.
Okay. Austin and I overlapped for 2 years, but I can never remember because we have a lot of friends who are like just slightly older than me, so I never know like exactly when everybody graduated.
Well, a lot of our friends graduated in 2016,
Right.
and I'm the same age as them,
Right.
but I stayed another year because I hate money.
So did I. Hey, guess what? Good news. I stayed an extra 2 years. So me too.
But you know what would help my fear of money? If you listeners subscribe to the Patreon for only $3 a month. Capitalism, baby.
Crazy plug.
Hey,
Very
don't hate the player,
sad.
hate the game.
That's fair.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Jeremy, I know you have also a pretty funny story about your first time watching Misery.
Yeah.
So you can go ahead.
So it's just been chronicled on this podcast. I like The Simpsons, and I don't care who knows. No, so growing up, my dad and I watched a lot of The Simpsons, and there's an episode of The Simpsons that guest stars Steve Byrne, the singer, and
David Byrne.
what's that?
David Byrne.
David Byrne. I'm sorry. Just David Byrne, who is a singer. And without diving just into like the whole plot of that episode, there is a moment where he ends up injured in Moses Lat's car, and as they're driving, he says, "Will you take me to the hospital?" And Mo says, "Yeah, you bet." And they drive past the hospital, and then Byrne looks out and says, "Isn't that the hospital?" And Mo says, "You ever see the movie Misery?" And he goes, "Actually, no." And then Mo says, "Well, then this will all be new to you." And they keep driving off into the wilderness. And I, as a kid, did not understand that joke. And I told my dad that I didn't understand that joke. I was old enough. I was like 13 or 14 years old. I was old enough to like handle watching horror movies. And I told my dad I didn't understand that joke. And then he was like, he literally paused the episode. We got in our, actually no, we rode our bikes because it was close, it was down the street. We rode our bikes to Family Video, rented Misery, came back, watched Misery, and then finished the episode of The Simpsons. Which, by the way, you don't need to see the movie Misery to like do the rest of the episode.
Right. It's just like a one-off reference.
Right.
That is
So,
iconic.
That is how I saw the movie Misery, and it's awesome. I love this movie, and I'm really excited to talk about it.
We should definitely shout out Bob for how hard he worked to get you to be cultured.
Yeah, honestly,
he
my dad,
really-
my dad showed me every movie. I saw Stand By Me at like 9.
Pretty much every movie that Jeremy references when we talk about his personal connection, I feel like it's always, well, like my dad put it on
Yeah,
and made me watch
yeah.
it. I watched this movie in college.
Me too.
And you think. And I was sick when I watched it. I had like this terrible fever. It was like the middle of like February, which is the perfect time to watch Misery. Like this time of year, as is evidenced by this month's theme, is like a great time to watch Misery. So I was like feverish and watching it like in and out of consciousness for the first time. And God, what a movie. Like, what a movie to watch when you're, like, not really with it. Because that's kind of how it makes you feel like Paul Sheldon. Like,
yeah.
Especially at the beginning of the movie when he's, like, in and he's like, where am I? What is going on? And then she explains and he's not really, like, processing. And then he goes back out of it. And it's just, yeah. So, highly recommend if you get a fever and you want to feel weird things, watch Misery.
That's so funny. If you get a fever and you want to feel strange things,
You know.
that is so funny.
So, let's talk about some historical context, shall we?
Yes.
So, let's talk about the book first. The book was written, obviously, by Stephen King, but it was originally set to be released under the pseudonym Richard Bachman.
Okay. And he's done a few...
Yes.
I think, like, The Running Man was a Richard Bachman at first.
I think so. But this was, like, the first Richard Bachman, I believe, because King's identity was discovered before the book's released. So he ended up just releasing it under Stephen King. The reason that he wrote Misery is because of Eyes of the Dragon, which is a 1984 novel that he wrote that was an epic fantasy. Up to this point, King had not experimented a ton with genre. He pretty much stuck in the action horror vein. Now, at this point, you know, I mean, we have things like Stand By Me. We have things like...
The Dark Tower is another fantasy epic.
Right. Things like...
Shawshank, Green Mile.
Yeah, exactly. But at this point, I mean, like, his biggest, I guess, like... Yeah, I mean, like, his biggest, like, I guess... outside of the comfort zone book at that point had been The Stand, and even that is like a dark fantasy, you know,
right.
Like there's not a lot of before this that kind of stuff. So he releases The Eyes of the Dragon. People did not enjoy it. People were very upset because it had none of the horror that made his reputation. And so Paul Sheldon's initial feeling of being chained to the Misery books is very much a reflection of King's own feeling of like
having to do horror.
Right. They want me to be like a one-trick pony.
Right.
And so this is kind of all I can do. And he also talks about how the reflection of the title is also a reflection of how he was feeling at the time. So he was struggling pretty heavily with addiction to drugs and alcohol. And so he describes Annie as a metaphor for his drug problem. She's his number one fan. She is obsessed with him. She is always there when he needs her. And he tries to get away, and he wants to get away. But she provides him with a little bit of comfort. Kind of the same way that she provides Paul Sheldon. Now, he is obviously very horrified by the acts that are happening, but the...
Acts?
But the ego boost that she provides to him is pretty evident. When he was asked if Paul Sheldon was a self-portrait, he stated... quote, certain parts of him are, but I think you will find that if you continue to write fiction, every character you create is partly you.
Can I ask you a question, Austin?
Yes.
And Anneliese, you can also answer this.
No, it's
but
fine.
as somebody who's so well versed in horror, and like self-admittedly, like Anneliese and I are on our like kind of like I feel like we're getting better and becoming experts in horror, but like we're still
a year into the podcast, I would hope, but I feel like I'm definitely still novice level.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we have not talked about this. I have not posed this question. But what's your Mount Rushmore of horror?
Characters? Movies?
Influences.
Oh, shit.
So, like, Stephen King is
Stephen King. Like, I feel like Stephen King, even though he's not a filmmaker, has to be there. Because, like, so many even iconic films are based on his work.
For me personally, or just...
like, who is...
all time, like, general consensus?
General consensus. Like...
Horror. Shit, dude. I hate this question.
I'm so sorry.
Shit, dude. I would say Stephen King is probably there. They call him the master of horror, you know. His name is synonymous with... And yes, he's done other things. But you think of Stephen King, you think of, like, probably one of the movies that scared you as a child. Like a lot of
Absolutely.
people will say The Shining or It.
Can I ask, are we talking... You know what? I want you to do yours, and then I'm going to come in with...
Oh.
I just had a clarifying question, but I think I'm going to do something different.
Okay.
I like it.
Okay. I'm just approaching it from not necessarily filmmakers, just who are the people that define like the modern.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to say Vincent Price.
Yeah, I think that's probably right.
I think even though he's an actor,
Mm-hmm.
his face has become synonymous with horror, synonymous with an earlier time of horror. And I think because of Michael Jackson's Thriller, his laugh and voice.
Yes.
Like, if he didn't do Thriller, I don't know if I'm saying... I think I might be putting Boris Karloff over Vincent Price. This is a really hard question. Like, guys who would be the guys in horror. Like, the Mount Rushmore.
Right. I feel like Craven, probably.
Well, it's like, do I just round it out with John Carpenter,
Right.
Wes Craven?
Yes. I'm kidding.
Like, I mean, that's fair, too, but then
Yeah.
if we're saying it in this context, where does James Wan fit in? Because James Wan
True.
has created $3
Like
billion
franchises, yeah.
not just franchises, $3 billion franchises
Right.
in Saw, Insidious, and The Conjuring. The
Right.
Conjuring, which just put out their last movie, but is it their last movie? They've made like 3 last Insidious movies, and they're
Right.
gonna come out with another one this year.
And also, Aquaman.
And also Aquaman,
Which is a type of horror.
which has 9 different jump scare explosions to move the plot along.
Yeah.
And it's like, where do you put the guys who are... Because I think you can make the argument for Jordan Peele being the face of modern horror.
Yeah.
Fair.
So
I'll put it.
I'm
Put it this way. I think because I see where you're going with the Jordan Peele and everything. I get it. I think, for example, like currently Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL, kind of
But
undisputedly.
does he go on the rush?
And I don't think yet, which I know is crazy to say, but I don't. I still think
it's-
he might not be yet.
And we're talking
Okay.
quarterbacks?
Yeah.
When we do Would You Ball, we're going to have to talk about what... the fuck you
And we
thought
can,
about
but you,
It's
do you
Jared
get, do you-
Goff.
It's not.
Jared Goff 4 times.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but do you get what I'm saying? Like I'm
No,
like
yeah.
so I think I'm looking more at like people who defined the genre for those who came after. When I think of a Mount Rushmore, like Peyton Manning, who is on,
Like,
who is
yeah.
on the TV.
Like
Like, that's
Peyton
one.
Manning.
Okay, so here's what I want to pose
Uh-huh.
to you while we're talking about this, and then I can let you ruminate and come up with your final list.
Thank you.
Okay.
We have a horror movie expert, yes?
Yes.
I would consider us literature experts.
Yeah.
So who's on your horror literature Mount Rushmore? Because arguably that's the horror Mount Rushmore because they came first. I've got mine. It's done.
Okay. So I mean, it's King.
Okay.
It has to be like
He's not on my list.
He's not on your list.
No.
It's King and Poe.
Okay.
Is Poe on your list?
Poe is on my list.
Poe has
Damn
to
right.
be on your list.
I was gonna say this.
Okay. You don't love her. I can never even remember her name. I'm gonna say it, and she's gonna be like Ron's sister, Emily Bronte, Wuthering Heights.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that book has informed so much, and then probably Mary Shelley.
Okay. So
So
you're 2 for 4.
okay, so I got Shelley and I got Poe.
Yeah. So Mary Shelley
Yeah.
is the mother of science fiction, but
For
also
sure.
like Frankenstein is horror.
Are you
Yeah.
gonna say H.G. Wells?
Ooh,
That's a very good one, and I would consider that an honorable mention before the 2 that you picked.
before Stephen King.
Yeah.
I think Stephen King should get a little more credit.
I think
Just
this is
because
crazy.
I think he's probably 6.
6.
H.P. Lovecraft.
Damn it.
And this one I will debate with you, but I will debate you with H.G. Wells, not with Stephen King. Shirley Jackson.
No, Shirley Jackson should be up there. I agree with Shirley Jackson.
I just don't think you can have a I think having a Mount Rushmore of horror literature without Stephen King on it is like being like, anyway, take a look at this Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks, and you're like, where the fuck is Tom Brady?
But
Like,
Stephen King wouldn't be Stephen King if it were not for those 4 authors.
you're right.
And I love him. I'm not like, this is not like shade or
No.
anything.
Well, let's disagree. Shelley's number 1.
Yes,
I think that's
I
probably-
think
I
that's
think that's
true.
fair.
I think
Poe's
Poe is number
probably
2.
2.
Poe is probably.
Then after that, it's debatable.
Yeah.
But I do think you're right in putting Lovecraft ahead of King, just because Lovecraft is probably the most influential to what King done later.
Yeah.
I'm gonna amend my. You're right. Lovecraft belongs there for sure over Bronte. Do you get where I was going with Bronte at least?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
I think she's probably top 10. I don't
yeah.
think she's.
No, you're
much
right.
more.
You're right.
But I think that, can we call it a tie for the 4th spot between the 3? Because I think it's
I think that's
Sure.
just fair. Yeah.
Stephen
I just like.
King, Shirley Jackson, H.G. Wells.
I totally get I get exactly what you're saying, that like King can't exist if not for those who came before him, which I totally agree with. I also just think like he's so prolific.
I also think ahead towards the future too.
Yeah.
And that's fair, yeah.
Well, and
I think you could put King on there now, but you definitely put him
Yeah.
years from now too.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I think that I just think that his horror in particular has infiltrated the cultural zeitgeist in a way that nobody else has had. Think of all of the movie adaptations and
Not
show
just all the movie
and-
adaptations, but the fact that like it's influencing other mediums to a point where
Totally.
Midnight Mass is basically Salem's Lot.
Right.
It's very Stephen King.
Yeah.
I
I mean, the Alan Wake games, video games,
Yeah.
those are based.
Stranger Things is
off of
it.
them. It is.
Yeah.
It literally is it.
And
It
they
is it.
have the same actors.
They do act. Yeah.
Okay, question. Because I don't think he belongs on Mount Rushmore of literature horror because he's only really famous for one book.
Okay.
But where do we put Bram Stoker?
Honorable mention.
Because the book is like the book. You know?
Honorable mention.
That's fair.
Because it's
Yeah.
the book, but I would put it equal to Stephen King's 900.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think Pennywise has become a character equal to Dracula,
Yeah, that's probably fair. Okay,
or at least on the way to being equal to Dracula.
back to your final list.
Fuck.
We gave you time, man. By engaging you in a different conversation, we gave you time.
If you guys are gonna do, can I not be all horror and just be filmmakers?
Yeah.
Sure.
That at least gives me like room to play. So if it's all just filmmakers, I'm gonna say that means I don't have to put Stephen King.
Okay, but then he has to be on our literature one. You can't have 2 Mount Rushmores of horror without him on one of them.
But he's not on the Mount. He's not doing a Mount Rushmore.
No, I know. I'm saying if
I'm
he's
doing
not on
filmmakers.
if he's not on his, you and I have to make room for him on ours.
No, we don't.
Okay.
He's not doing horror.
He's doing horror film.
No, he's doing filmmakers.
Horror filmmakers.
Oh, I thought you
Boom.
were just doing filmmakers.
No.
Okay.
No, horror filmmaker.
Listen,
That's
I
a
don't know.
completely different list if I'm doing filmmaking.
Yeah,
but no,
that's why I was confused.
horror
Anyway,
filmmakers.
All right, fine.
Fuck. Well, for just horror, this is hard, guys.
I know, I'm sorry. But I was really curious. And I've really enjoyed the conversation.
I think you put Todd Browning. He did Freaks. He did Dracula. I think he did in some of the other monster movies. But you got to have someone from... And I was debating between Todd Browning and James Whale, who did Frankenstein, who did Bride of Frankenstein.
Mm.
I think you'd give it to Todd Browning first. After that, you do Wes Craven. I think all of horror film.
Where does Hitchcock fall?
I was literally just gonna say you skipped Hitchcock.
I don't think
Bold.
Hitchcock is all horror. That's why I'm not putting Spielberg on.
Okay.
The list.
Okay.
I get this. Okay.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Because Hitchcock, he made some of the greatest horror movies ever.
No,
He
I
also
put
made...
Wes Craven on the list, despite the fact that he made the hit movie Music of the Heart.
If he got to make 3 other non-horror, maybe it's...
Fine. That's a joke, everybody. I know he's horrible.
James Wan's going on the list.
I still think it's funny that
James Wan probably should. You're right.
the only Wes Craven movie I watched for years and years and years is
I love
Music
that.
of the Heart.
His favorite movie.
It's like I wouldn't put Rob Reiner on this list, even though Misery is iconic. Just because
Right, for sure.
he might be on the filmmaker,
Right.
Right, but like
which would also have probably
He's on
Hitchcock,
the
probably
he's on the
Spielberg.
he's on the Stephen King adaptation Mount Rushmore.
Yes, he
probably
is.
true, yeah.
Yeah, it's him. It's Mike Flanagan.
You're right.
Who's also on the Shirley Jackson one.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
We can just keep
Let's keep
going.
getting like branching out.
Guillermo
on
del
new Mount
Toro
Rushmore.
goes on the Mary Shelley one.
Yep. He might. He might go on the. I love Del Toro.
I love Del Toro.
All right, so we got 2.
We
Three.
have
Three. Okay.
We have James Wan, we
Yep,
have
right.
Wes Craven, and we have the guy who did Dracula.
Todd Browning.
Him.
All right.
Do we put Roger Corman? Because he just like he made all those '50s horror movies, and then the ones with Vincent Price.
Right.
But
Carpenter.
I mean, Carpenter's the obvious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Carpenter kind of branches out to sci-fi a lot too. So is he more on the sci-fi where James Cameron is?
I was gonna say Corman is
But
more sci-fi to me.
But Corman's influence is like he discovered Joe Dante and Jonathan Demme, and that's where I'm thinking Corman, just because not just his own filmography, but the fact that he, like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know he's from here?
Roger Corman?
Well, yeah, born in Detroit. Shout out Detroit.
All right, here's my final 4.
Got
Okay.
it.
Wes Craven.
Okay.
James Wan.
Yep.
Roger Corman.
Okay.
Sam Raimi.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Man,
Sam
love,
Raimi makes
I love
sense.
I love it. It's just like a name nobody said on this episode came out of left fucking field. What a comeback.
No, I totally agree.
No, you are right.
When you said Roger Corman was
From Michigan, it clicked.
it didn't. I was debating him the whole time. I'm just like,
Yeah.
no, The Evil Dead like paved the way for the do-it-yourself
Yeah.
You're right.
No, that's
indie
fair.
horror.
He's also on the Spider-Man Mount Rushmore.
He's definitely. I'm gonna get a lot of shit for not putting John Carpenter on there. I'm
No.
giving myself a lot of shit for not putting John Carpenter on there.
But if you got to narrow it to 4, I think you have a valid 4.
It's either John Carpenter or Wes Craven. I'm going with Craven.
Fair.
I think James Wan earned his spot.
Fair. Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. All right. That was a fun game. I like
That was a very fun. You want to talk about Misery?
it.
Yeah.
We should talk about Misery.
So, how did it become a movie? Andrew Scheinman, who is the partner, the producer half of him and Reiner in Castle Rock Entertainment, read Stephen King's novel on an airplane and then basically called up Rob and was like, hey, we have to do this. So Reiner bought the rights. He invited William Goldman to write the film's screenplay, and the rest is kind of history. One thing that is kind of notable is this is a pretty faithful adaptation.
Yeah.
But except for the big iconic scene.
But even then, the scene accomplishes the same thing.
Totally, but it was Rob Reiner's change, and I want to explain why. So in the novel, Annie Wilkes, first of all, spoilers, I guess.
That's a fair point.
In the novel, Annie Wilkes like completely cuts off one of Paul Sheldon's feet
With an axe.
With an axe.
I made an allusion to it earlier.
And you did. Goldman, who was the writer, really wanted the scene to be included. Reiner insisted that it be changed only so that she breaks his ankles. And Goldman eventually agreed that it was the correct decision because they fear that the visual depiction of an amputation, especially at the time. I mean, now we've got like fucking torture porn everywhere. It's a little bit different, but
Yeah, it's just another day at the office for James Wan.
but Goldman felt that if they had done the visual depiction of an amputation, it would cause the audience to hate Annie instead of sympathizing with her, which I agree with. I think that was the right decision. If you want us to sympathize as the audience with her at all, I think that is important. So
I also think it's like a great change just because This is done in the what was it, 89?
90.
90?
Well, it came out in 90, so it was probably...
Shot in 80.
Yeah.
I mean, this is when the slasher boom of the 80s hit.
Right.
So the general public probably wouldn't be able to handle it, but it's people who saw all the Jason movies. It's like, you know,
Right.
an axe they've seen before, but I think it's so unique with the sledgehammer. And when the film, you know, they show you that first little, you see the foot go all jelly.
Ugh, yeah.
It's awesome. And it cuts away at the perfect, so you see enough, but it's basically a flash, so your brain kind of like fills in the details still.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so you don't really see that in other horror movies.
Yeah, totally agree.
And it's a little classier, which means the Oscars aren't as opposed to it.
True. So let's take a brief, not too brief, but a brief segue into our monthly theme, which is cold as ice.
'Cause we're cold as ice.
And let's talk about kind of how ice and snow function as a antagonist in the movie.
Well, first off, Paul Sheldon didn't grow up driving in Michigan.
No, he certainly did not. I have said this, I've texted this 3 separate times, but I genuinely think this opening scene with shotgun playing in the background and him kind of going down the road in his like Mustang convertible in the middle of the snow is like one of the best examples of like hubris that quickly befalls a character. And yeah, I think it's just kind of a really good example of like this idea that normal everyday people, we kind of believe we're indestructible until we're not.
Right.
And I think that's kind of what's going on with Paul Sheldon here in this opening scene.
And he doesn't really tap on the brakes. He just kind of pushes on the brake, and you don't do that in snow.
No, you do not.
Paul Sheldon, do better.
Yep.
Fun fact, guys. Did y'all know that James Caan went to Michigan State?
I did know that. He played football.
He did.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Really?
That's news.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
Man, he's best-selling author Paul Sheldon. He's MSU Spartan alum and football team alum, and he's the father of Buddy the Elf.
True.
What a guy.
That is true.
And he was in The Godfather. We shouldn't overlook that.
What? That small series?
And his son was in the Hawaii Five-0 remake, which I was really hyper-fixated on for like an entire year and a half of my life.
Hell yeah.
So that's not special to anybody else, but it is special to me.
Hell yeah. Rest in peace, James Caan.
Real.
Rest in peace, Rob Reiner.
Real.
Oh, I'm sad now.
Kathy Bates still kicking.
Protect Kathy Bates.
Real.
Kathy Bates rules.
She does.
Look, can we talk about Kathy Bates?
Totally.
She rules in everything.
Yes.
So
She's never had a bad movie, probably.
2 years ago, I go to the movies by myself to see a little movie called Titanic
Yeah, that one.
in theaters. And I forgot that she was in it. And I'm in the movie theater, and I do the Leo point. I'm like, Kathy Bates! And I went alone, so no one was next to me when I saw it on Valentine's Day 2024 by myself.
You just really said that.
Her recurring role in The Office is still one that throws me every single time. Like, I've seen that show upwards of like 35 times, and every time it gets to those seasons where she comes in as Joe Bennett, I'm like, is that fucking Kathy Bates?
Kathy Bates does it all.
Yeah.
Kathy Bates is very, very good. She was in this movie. She was in Fried Green Tomatoes, which is a phenomenal movie. Obviously, the Titanic. Sorry, not the Titanic, but Titanic. The Waterboy, which is the same level of...
Yeah, because he plays Mama.
Yep. She was in Rat Race as an uncredited cameo.
Foosball's the devil.
Yeah, she's just been in just so much.
Wasn't she, like, Columbo or something?
I don't know.
Like a new TV version of...
That I believe. I forgot she was in Fred Claus.
She works so much.
She's just really been in, like,
and it's
a
not
lot.
I need more.
She was in my favorite version of Annie, which is, like, the least popular version of Annie, but I really liked it. Like, the musical Annie. She was at Miss Hannigan.
Tomorrow. That one. Kathy Bates will come out tomorrow.
Correct. She's been in a lot of TV too.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said.
She's in the new Matlock.
That's what I was thinking. Not Columbo.
That's what it
Not
was.
Columbo.
Yeah.
Matlock.
That's crazy.
Yeah, she was also in this very like short-lived show that was only on for like 2 seasons, where she starred in Harry's Law, which I was really obsessed with. It was about a lawyer named Harriet, and she was a patent lawyer, and so they like form a law firm, and it's very fun, and I really liked it, and I really was hoping that it would get renewed for a 3rd season, but it did in fact not. Oh, she was also in like 2 or 3 seasons of American Horror Story. Speaking of horror,
I knew that.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that. Fun fact, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but Misery is her big screen breakthrough.
Yeah.
Like, she was a theater actress, and Rob Reiner, I don't know if discovered her is the right word, but Rob Reiner's the one who's like, you need to be, like...
She was in quite a few films before Misery, but she was not
That's like her
a main
role. Yeah.
in any. So yeah.
And I think the studio wanted to get, like, bigger names for Annie Wilkes, and he said no. Kathy Bates.
And thank God, she's perfect.
I can't imagine anyone else in this role.
No.
Although I do think Annie Wilkes shows up in Castle Rock, the TV show.
I think that's right.
Which I haven't seen it all, but I'm pretty sure that Lizzie Kaplan plays Annie Wilkes.
Nice.
I think that's right.
And there's a stage version of Misery now. And I think there's like a Broadway or maybe just off, but it was like a big budget Broadway version of Misery starring Laurie Metcalf as Annie Wilkes, and I think Bruce Willis as Paul Sheldon.
I'm pretty sure she's also she's in The Monkey.
Annie Wilkes?
Mm-hmm.
I saw The Monkey.
She's the babysitter, Annie, played by Danica Dreyer.
They named her Annie Wilkes?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
I
think that's just a homage.
According to this, it's the same character in an alternate universe.
Okay, because they alternate that very...
Right. Spoiler alert, they do kill her. Like she's decapitated, correct?
Spoiler alert at Benihana.
Yeah.
Like one of those Japanese sword slice. Yeah.
That's a James Wan flick, isn't it?
He produced it. It was Oz Perkins.
Right, okay.
What a genius move to cast a relatively unknown. Because I think that's one of those instances where, like, I'm sure somebody else could play the role. I don't think anyone would play it as well, right? Like, she crushes it. But what a genius move to I almost said draft somebody. To cast somebody who's relatively unknown. Because I just feel like that's a character where familiarity would not give the intended effect of her character. Like, like part of her, like you watch it now and you're like, that's Kathy Bates. But like audiences in 1990 were like, this woman is scary.
Right.
You know, because they don't know who she is. To them, she's Annie Wilkes.
They know who James Caan is.
Right.
And I think you ask the average person today, more of them would know Kathy Bates over James Caan.
I think that's probably true, yeah.
I think they would know James Caan, but I don't think everyone knows his name. I think they'd be like...
the guy from Elf.
Yeah.
Like
Walter Hobbs.
Yeah, right.
I have gone down a rabbit hole. I need you guys to know that I've gone down a rabbit hole of something that's not related at all. But I have to say it. Osgood Perkins.
Yeah.
Didn't know his dad was Anthony Perkins. Makes sense. Totally. Got it.
Oh, you went down this rabbit hole?
His mom was, like kind of very cool European lady and descended from Giovanni Schiaparelli and Elsa Schiaparelli, and then died on the plane in the September 11th attacks.
Yep.
Surprise 9/11.
Surprise 9/11.
That is becoming a thing on this show, and I don't like it.
Anyway, that's all. That has nothing to do with, like, literally less than nothing to do with Misery. I don't know how to segue us back, but I really need to talk about this opening scene. Someone else has to do it. I'm not joking.
So this opening scene.
Yeah. So the opening scene.
That's how we do it in professional podcaster land.
I can't do this. I can't wait to listen to what you kept out of this episode.
Oh, this is a 5-minute episode.
Oh, good.
After the edit.
So Shotgun by Junior Walker and the All-Stars is playing. And the lyrics to Shotgun is shotgun, shoot 'em before they run now.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that's kind of a cool little Easter egg. Because obviously she did not shoot him. But she did get him before he could run.
Right.
Right. Again, reminding you of the synopsis, Annie uses the excuse of this terrible blizzard to be like, couldn't take you to the hospital, gotta wait until the roads are clear, gotta wait until the phone lines are up. But I am a nurse, so I will take care of you. So even though the blizzard itself kind of takes second place to Annie as an antagonist, the movie would not be possible if it were not for the initial blizzard. And
the initial blizzard's effects last far beyond the initial car crash.
Yes.
Because the snow hides the car from law enforcement for, like, I think weeks.
Yes. I think it's something that we will obviously talk about next week as well, when we get into another movie that has a lot in common with this one. I'm trying to be vague. But snow as a fear that people have is really interesting because it's physical danger, but it's also symbolic danger, right? It is isolation. It is harshness. It is unforgiving. And that is what it represents in this movie, because as a catalyst, the blizzard's pretty much come and gone before he even wakes up, before Paul even wakes up. But he experiences it because he is stuck in bed and it cannot move and cannot actually see that it's gone. He experiences it as this great isolation. He cannot contact his daughter. He cannot get help. He is stuck because of the quote-unquote snow. And
those looking for him can't find him.
Yes.
Like I mentioned earlier, the car is hidden. They don't know he's missing for a few days. When Paul's agent, played by Lauren Bacall.
Crazy.
So crazy. She calls, like, the local town, and that's where we get the man, the myth, Buster. I love Buster.
I love Buster, too.
Spoiler alert, Buster gets fucking shot in the back.
Yes.
By Annie. No, it would have made a difference to me if she cut off Paul's leg with an axe or hobbled him. She shot Buster. No sympathy from AT over here.
That's super fair. I do have sympathy for Annie, but we'll talk about it. But I definitely agree that the most devastating scene is probably Buster.
Also, Annie's a baby killer.
That's true too.
Like she has a scrapbook, and in her scrapbook is like, hey, babies are being murdered at the maternity ward. And then it's like, it was this bitch. The newspaper didn't say that, but I did.
Do any of the other adaptations and or the books go into, like, what Annie's motives were for that?
I don't know.
Just curious.
I should read this book.
That's fair.
I've read it.
I was like, have you read anything?
I've read it.
I truly thought you were about to just be like, I read once.
Well, it was one of those things where a bunch of different options came into my mind and I didn't know which one to say first. But I've read it. I've read Christine. I've read Pet Sematary. I've read most of The Shining. I've read most of Cujo. Cujo's a fucking great book and a fucking amazing movie. I love Cujo. There's more I've read, I'm pretty sure. I've read Revival. I think Pet Sematary is the one I've read the most recently. But anyways, Misery. Buster. We love Buster. We love his wife, who's the deputy.
Yes. She's my favorite.
They're spicy.
Yeah, they are.
They're sassy.
They're so in love.
They are. Oh, I love them. And then we don't see it, but I just imagine she's the saddest person.
I know.
I'm glad we were spared of that aftermath, but, like, at the same time, fuck.
Yeah, I know. I thought about that as soon as, like, that happened. So, let's talk about Annie Wilkes as, like, a parasocial symbol.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Rest in peace, Annie Wilkes. You would have loved Reddit.
You would have loved Archive of Our Own. You would have loved fanfiction.net. Tumblr. You would have loved Tumblr.
Tumblr would have saved so many lives had it existed.
That's so
and
yeah, no, Annie... If Annie knew about fanfiction, I firmly believe the rest of this wouldn't have happened. I mean, maybe the baby killing, because, again, don't really know her motives for that. But this part, I don't think it would have happened. So, I'm glad you found that funny.
Oh, my God.
So, there is a...
We got surprise 9/11 in this episode. We were talking about baby killing in this episode. Guys, tell your friends, like, share, subscribe. We got the goods.
Totally. So there is a website called horrorhomeroom.com, and they're just kind of like an op-ed website about all things horror. And Taylor Hughes did a really interesting piece called Misery Chastain Cannot Be Dead, Annie Wilkes and Fan Rejection of Character Death. Mm-hmm. And it kind of talks about how, on a less extreme note, modern parasocial relationships lead to a lot of this type of reaction to character death or changing of characters that people are not a fan of, or all of that. And it kind of has thinned the barrier between writer and consumer in the modern day.
Star Wars? What?
Well, yes. But like it talks a lot about like, for example, the first example of this is probably Arthur Conan Doyle killing off Sherlock Holmes. Very similar situation. Doyle wanted to move on from Sherlock. He was ready to explore other things. He killed him. Fans canceled subscriptions to the magazine, wore black armbands in mourning, started Let's Keep Holmes Alive clubs, and Doyle referred to the death of Holmes as justifiable homicide, probably because back in 1893, when this happened, there was more of a barrier between fan and artist. Yeah. Now with social media, it has become something more of an Annie Wilkes situation, where you can not physically, but emotionally hold your favorite writers captive while they are forced to listen to your anger.
I mean, you saw all the petitions and the vitriol after Star Wars The Last Jedi came out. Mm-hmm. We're kind of seeing a lot of stuff like that with the finale of Stranger Things. Mm-hmm. And just for respect of listeners who haven't watched Stranger Things yet, I'm not going to talk about the finale. Right. But there's a lot of opinions and feelings on the internet right now.
Yes, correct.
And people I think it's more like people are coping with the ending. Mm-hmm. That people are like, well, actually, there's a hidden 9th episode and it's going to come out this week. And it's like, no, it ended. It's done.
So one of the arguments that this article makes is that we were not meant to grieve fictional characters. Like, if you have a strong emotional attachment to a fictional character or an idea or whatever, you are not meant to grieve that in solitude. And this is interesting because it's kind of a theme that's described in Misery. Misery is all about isolation, solitude. Right. If Annie, it sounds funny, but if Annie had a community like existed in the late 1980s and definitely today, to mourn her favorite character, she may not have felt the anger and instability that she did. Now, obviously, we're talking about a very mentally ill woman. It's like
she killed babies.
Extreme. Yeah, exactly.
And she kidnapped Paul Sheldon before she knew he had killed off Misery.
Very, 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 different. But I would argue that the Misery sequel that she and Paul end up writing together is fan fiction.
Oh, it definitely
I mean, in its literal sense. It is fiction that is maybe written by the author, but very much
against his will.
Against his will, written by the fan.
And she's giving him notes.
Yes, exactly. And we have this really interesting, like, legitimacy to fan fiction in the modern day that didn't exist, like, when I was a teenager writing fan fiction. Fanfics are getting published now, like, into legitimate books and then being made into movies. Like, there is this very, very famous book, like, romance novel called The Love Hypothesis, which is being made into a movie. The movie stars Daisy Ridley's husband. The original book is Reylo fanfiction. That's how full circle this shit is coming. Isn't that crazy?
Daisy Ridley's married.
I'm really sorry to tell you. But so this is like how legitimate it's becoming. I mean, even like Mike Flanagan says that he thinks of his adaptation of The Haunting of Hill House as fanfic.
And that and Fall of the House of Usher, I think you could consider it kind of like the same thing. A lot of people called Star Wars Rogue One when it came out fan fiction.
Right.
I think you should call it, I think you should call it The Force Awakens more so than Rogue One, but I see the arguments for both, you know.
Yes.
And like, it's not just like the fan fiction in the literal sense, but it's the fans are the ones making the movies now.
Yeah.
When Alien comes out, Ridley Scott wasn't an Alien fan.
No, yeah.
Because Alien didn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
James Cameron, when he makes Aliens, he likes the movie, but he didn't grow up with Alien.
Right. It's not like something he has a strong emotional attachment to, other than he wants to make a good movie.
Fede Alvarez is an Alien fan. He grew up with Alien and Aliens.
Mm-hmm.
Rian Johnson, J.J. Abrams, they grew up with Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like, the fans are making Gareth Edwards, he did Star Wars Rogue One. He did Godzilla 2014. He did Jurassic World Rebirth.
Mm-hmm.
Fans of all those, you know?
Yeah. I just think that, like, Annie is such an interesting character to look at as somebody who, like, I would consider myself pretty well versed in fandom culture. I'm not just somebody who has been a fan of things. I have also been immersed in fandoms. I have been in forums. I have had a Tumblr that is a fandom Tumblr. I have had, I've written fan fiction. Like, and to watch the worst parts of your community kind of be, like, laid out like that. And before we were talking about the toxicity of fandom, too, is just a really interesting, like, kind of retrospective to look at her character through.
Right, because, like, this being a horror movie podcast and we're talking about fandom, we should mention Scream.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Scream 2025, talks about toxic fandom.
Yep.
Like, literal quote, how can fandom be toxic?
Mm-hmm.
How can loving something be wrong, you know?
Yep.
And Scream 6 does a little bit like that. People are just nasty to each other on the internet over Scream, over Star Wars. And I think...
over Stranger Things, as you mentioned earlier. People who enjoyed the ending are mad at people who didn't, and people who didn't enjoy the ending are mad at people who did. And the interesting thing is how many people have just very varying reasons for either enjoying or not enjoying the ending that they got.
And I think something, to bring it back to Scream for a second, to tie into that point, and to tie into my point earlier of, like, Radio Silence being fans of Scream and Wes Craven when they make Scream, you know, and they're tackling it like, hey, fandom could be really wild, and then the Scream fans are like, we're not wild, how dare you, you know?
Yeah.
Some, like, and it's...
well, and I think there's something to be said about rewarding bad behavior in this way. And, like, for example, there are a lot of franchises who bring back characters that are dead. And they're never going to admit that they did it because that was the fan response was negative to them dying. But that's why.
Right. Or bringing back characters from movies 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Just because
Or showing us the
Right.
Ewoks because somebody really wanted to see the cute little teddy bears.
actually I'm okay with that.
I'm not mad about it. I'm very overjoyed. But I am saying, like, that is another example of, like, what's it called? Why can't I think of what it's called when you do that? It's fan service. Fan service. And it can be fun and it can be nostalgic, and I have no problem with, like, a movie that is complete nostalgia, to be honest.
Sure.
I tend to like them. I'm not going to lie, I'm a sucker. But I think there is something to be said about, like, giving in to fans' demands and then being upset when you don't give in to fans' demands in another aspect, and being, like, not understanding of why they're reacting the way they are. It's like,
Right.
and I don't like to say it this way because I love being a part of fandom spaces, and I genuinely think it is a net positive. I know a lot of people would disagree with me, but that's fine. But
I wouldn't disagree with that because, like, I go to a bunch of horror conventions. I go to a bunch of Comic-Cons.
I know, but there's other people in this room who would disagree with me on whether fandom is a net positive or not. But that's not, but, like, that's fine. You can disagree. That's okay. I'm not, like, offended by that. I understand the point. But I do think it's, like, I don't like to, but because I think fandom is a net positive, I don't like to put it this way. But it is kind of like being surprised when a spoiled child has a tantrum.
Mm-hmm.
If you give in to every single thing that the fans want and then don't give in on this one thing, they're not going to react well because they're
Right.
accustomed to something.
And everything's so instant gratification now.
Yeah.
When the Star Wars original trilogy comes out,
Mm-hmm.
people didn't love The Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
And Return of the Jedi had its haters.
Yeah.
But because the kids who grew up with those are in their 40s and 50s now, the world don't remember that. The kids who grew up with the prequels grew up with the original trilogy also.
Mm-hmm.
So the original trilogy is only going to go up more and more and more in esteem with time.
Yeah.
But now it's much quicker. Like, when people didn't love The Empire Strikes Back, that don't really get remembered because there's no Facebook posts and tweets from then.
Correct.
There's and then, like, I think people forget how hated the Star Wars prequels were.
Yep.
There was a whole ass documentary called The People versus George Lucas.
Mm-hmm.
George Lucas sold Lucasfilm to Disney, and I'm pretty sure it's because he didn't want to deal with the fans anymore.
Yeah.
And also, George Lucas is kind of like Paul Sheldon. George Lucas wants to make movies, or wanted to make movies, but Star Wars became such a hit, he could only do Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't get to make an Indiana Jones. He came up with that character.
Mm-hmm.
Steven Spielberg made the indie movies.
Yeah.
And now James Mangold. But, like, George Lucas never directed an indie movie.
Mm-hmm.
George Lucas directed maybe a handful of films that aren't Star Wars. And with Star Wars, it's slightly more than a handful.
Not gonna lie, I love Willow. I'm gonna shout it out every time we
Sure,
talk
yeah.
about George Lucas. But yeah, nobody's like, I love Willow director George Lucas.
Right. But then Steven Spielberg gets what I think George Lucas kind of wanted.
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg made over 30 films, from West Side Story to Minority Report, War of the Worlds to Munich,
Yeah. He gets to do every genre.
Right. And George Lucas gets to do Star Wars.
It's the Stephen King effect, but eventually Stephen King got out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, Stephen King got out of it, and George Lucas didn't get to it, but George Lucas is filthy rich now, so he could cry into those Benjamins.
Right, exactly.
I like George Lucas, by the way.
Yes. No, I know.
But I don't know if he regrets anything. I hope not. But he's brought so much, like, happiness to people.
Mm-hmm.
But then at the same time, these people are at each other's throats because, fuck you, Jar Jar is awesome. Are you stupid? You know what I mean?
Yep. Over the dumbest shit, man. The dumbest fucking shit. And that's fandom. And I love it. Are you ready for our miserlatives?
Ooh, miserlatives. Can I outdo it?
I've been sitting on that one for 10 minutes.
Really?
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know that. That was damn good.
Our hobbling tivs?
Oh.
Our sledgehammer-tivs?
Sledgehammer-latives.
It's just because Missouri super they rhyme.
Missourlatives.
Yeah.
And it's fun to say Missourlative. Say it,
Missourlative.
Jeremy.
Missourlatives.
See?
They're good.
People at home, like, share, subscribe, and say to yourself, Missourlatives.
Yeah.
It is fun.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I'm competitive. This shit sucks.
Yeah.
But
You win 9 times out of 10. Let me have this one.
No. You won. I'm not letting you have it. You won it. You earned it fair and square.
All right, now stop. Hammer time.
Sledgehammer time?
Sledgehammer time.
Yeah. Okay. Who would you save?
Buster.
That's fair.
I didn't even hesitate.
Yeah, no, that's real.
The right
I
answer.
knew you were gonna save Buster, so I said I'm gonna save my girl Annie.
No.
She needs therapy.
She
She needs
needs
a fanfiction.net account, and she's gonna be good. I promise. Get her some antipsychotics.
Understatement of the year. My girl Annie Wilkes needs therapy.
Listen, imagine her like in a prison with a therapist and like an access to pen and pencil, and that's it.
Stephen King, write this book. Bring her back.
She's good. Bring her back.
Nobody saves Paul.
No.
Paul ends up alive. I get yelled at for saving the alive one all the time.
It's true, I do
The man
that.
is seeing this woman at a restaurant. He's so traumatized.
Yeah,
But
that's
he
fine.
he's saved.
But he has a lot of money, so he can cry into his Benjamins.
I don't know. I get it. I hear you. I just don't know if it plays.
Or you can save Paul.
I am gonna say Paul. You know,
I'm sorry. This is
when
not-
somebody says I'm your biggest fan and your reaction is that's very kind of you, like that is very sweet of you.
Last time I checked,
I mean,
you're the
what-
producer, not a co-host.
I'm so sorry. I'll
What
stop
else
thinking.
are you gonna say? Like, hey, I'm your number one biggest fan. Fuck you. You're not gonna say that. You're gonna be like, thank you. That was
no,
very kind.
I hear you,
You're
but
like-
like the implication is that he's like, yeah, fuck. You know.
The implication is like you'll never be her. He misses her so bad.
Anneliese ships.
I lied. That
Oh,
was the
Sheldon.
understatement.
I guarantee you, if you gave me 5 seconds, I could find some Paul X Annie fan fiction right now. Anyway,
I don't want it.
I don't want to look for it either. I'm just saying I could.
Listeners at home, let us know if you find it and send it to us.
What is your favorite scare?
So this is kind of a underrated one, but when he's like, when Paul Sheldon is like escaping or trying to like move around while Annie's out doing something, getting like typing paper, having road rage, whatever she's doing,
Right.
and he knocks over the penguin figure, and it's a close-up, so you see that it's facing screen left, and he puts it back close up, it's facing screen right. Oh that moment's just like, fuck. It's like, go back.
Mine is also the penguin. I literally have that written down.
That is funny. I thought you were gonna put down the hobbling scene.
No. I mean, that's a good one, but...
Can I jump in?
Yes.
Biggest favorite scare for this one.
Sure.
So, the scene where she's making him burn the manuscript,
Oh,
and she just slowly starts kind of casually tossing lighter fluid onto him. That scene chills me every time. Just because, like, just the, like, very casual. She's just in conversation, and she's just kind of moving, like, talking with her hands. And it's just, every time she moves, she tosses more and more lighter fluid onto him.
Yeah.
And, like, it's never, I mean, I know it's the point of the scene, but it's never a direct threat. But you can just see the wheels turning in his head where he's like, she's gonna fucking kill me. It's crazy. I love that scene.
I think
That's
there's
a
something
good
to be said. Like, she is such a loud character
Mm-hmm.
that when she's quiet, that's when she's really scary.
Yeah.
Like when she's like, the rain gives me the blues.
Yep.
It's like, shit. And she just quietly shows Paul her and it's like, no,
Yeah.
I gotta get out.
Yeah. Tony Todd Award for movie MVP.
I think I have to give mine to James Caan.
Okay. That's fine. It's not the right answer. But
Are
it's
you,
fine.
are you going to say Kathy Bates?
Yeah, it's Kathy Bates.
I mean, I love her. She's iconic. This is one of the best performances in a horror movie. But she won the Oscar.
Right.
So I think James Caan could win the Tony Todd Award for movie MVP, and Kathy Bates can have her Oscar.
That's fine. She deserves both.
These are equal awards.
These are equal awards.
Oh,
But
man.
that's why we both give one.
Is the score better than Jaws?
No.
You have to say but.
I don't have to say
Yes,
but.
you do.
I'm sorry, but when your most musical iconic moment is just taking Moonlight Sonata,
That's fair.
are you going to ask me if Mozart's better than John Williams? Because yes, but that is not the question.
First of all, that is exactly what I was going to ask. So I agree. This is not better than Jaws. However, Max
Mozart
Shaman-
is.
Okay. I'll
Sorry.
just stop talking.
I'm sorry.
I'm kidding. Okay. Max Shaman is a frequent collaborator of Rob Reiner's. He also did When Harry Met Sally the year before this. He's done a lot. He's did Mr. Saturday Night for Billy Crystal. He did A Few Good Men.
Oh,
He's also done a lot more Nora Ephron. So like Sleepless in Seattle he did Hocus Pocus.
very nice.
So he is kind of known for doing lighter scores, more comedic generally.
So this is probably one of his heaviest scores.
Yeah, I would definitely agree looking through kind of everything that he has done. But yeah, he did a lot of Rob Reiner.
I would say I really like the music when they're fighting at the end.
Yeah, I agree.
Also, that fight seems insane.
Mhm.
So good.
He also did the music for Saturday Night Live for a couple seasons.
Nice.
So. And a lot of the Academy Awards.
Oh, like when the
Yeah,
winners go up to...
Yeah, like when they play the music and they're like, please get the fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he's done quite a bit. Once again, I'm going to shout out the Shotgun Needle Drop because I think that's a really good one. And there's nowhere else to put that in our superlatives, but that's a good one. A fine addition to your collection. What do you think?
I own it.
I believe you. Do you own it in Blu-ray, in 4K?
I think just on Blu-ray.
Nice. All right, Letterboxd reviews, gentlemen.
Let's do it. Are you ready for this?
Also,
All right.
if anybody was wondering, I did find Annie x Paul fanfic. Thank you.
Fuck.
Moving on.
Okay. So I gave this movie 5 stars and a heart.
Mm-hmm.
So literally just write your own fanfic, Annie. You don't have to accept the canon.
And that's my point this whole time. I gave this 4 stars and a heart. I don't know if anybody's going to get my reference, but I said, we can't just throw him out into the snow. Why not? He loves the snow. He's told me 15 times. Annie, probably. And that is an elf quote.
I was going to guess it.
I'm sorry. It is James Caan says, why not?
Yeah, he's
He
talking
loves
about
the
Buddy
snow.
Dale.
He's told me 15 times.
I love that.
So that
Should go
was
back
my-
and edit in Austin speak, just like you being like, no one's gonna get it, and him just giving you the exact minute of the movie.
Yeah, that's fair.
Elf.
All right. What about you?
I gave it the correct rating of 5 stars.
Yeah, sorry. You gave it 4.5 a while ago.
In 2018, I've grown.
Okay, well.
Can I ask before you go, just what made this a 4-star review for you? Like, where's that extra star, man?
5-star movies are like very, very, very special to me. Like personally.
Why do you hate cinema?
I don't hate cinema.
We love the movies.
Rob Reiner deserves this.
Yeah, Rob Reiner does deserve this. And that's why when I rewatched When Harry Met Sally yesterday, he got 5 stars and a heart. I don't know what we're doing here.
Fair.
I haven't seen When Harry Met
I
Sally.
know, and you say that every time and it fucks me up real bad.
One day he's gonna be like, I've seen Harry Met Sally.
That's the dream.
All right. 5 stars and a heart.
Can I say my Letterboxd review now?
Please.
Yes.
Thank you. Paul Sheldon. I haven't been a writer since I got into the misery business. Haley Williams. Say that again?
It's really good.
I'm really proud of it.
I do really like that one.
He says that to Lauren Bacall early in the movie, and I paused the movie and I rewound it just so I can get that. I'm like, I already know what my Letterboxd review is going to be.
That is fair. Special edition superlative. Well, there are no Supernatural alumni, so we're good on that front this time.
I'm surprised Kathy Bates didn't make it
I was going to say,
appearance.
it's actually a little surprising.
With the American Horror Story pull, I am also surprised. But yeah. Special edition superlatives, scale of 1 to 10. How much would you want to build a snowman with them?
With all of them? Or I thought we were supposed to pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's who would you like to build a snowman with?
Oh, I thought it was scale of 1 to 10. Okay,
No.
never mind. Sorry.
So which character would you build a snowman with?
Jeremy, Lisa, me. That's the order, I think.
Yeah, I would pick Buster.
Fuck.
I'm sorry, he just seems the most fun.
You get all mine.
I'm going to pick Annie, and we're going to make snowmen of our comfort characters, and it's going to be beautiful.
Oh, I want to pick Misery.
Ooh, the pig?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I
Because
thought you meant the character. I was like, she's dead, Austin.
That's
and
the problem.
fictional.
Well, they're all fictional, technically.
But she's like
She's like in fiction, fictional.
uber fictional. She's like
Fair.
Reptar.
That's fair.
She is. Misery and Reptar.
but yeah, Misery the pig.
All right.
I love it.
And I love when Kathy Bates like brings her in and she's doing like I can't
Yeah.
do a pig snort. That was like a velociraptor growl, but
But it was good. I know what you meant. Austin,
yes.
would you die?
Yes.
Why?
Because the fans, they just don't let me be. I'm too famous for my own good. I'm too bad. I'm just too rad
To be sad.
to be sad. Like, I can't go places without hiding myself away in a ball cap and sunglasses.
That's true. I've seen it.
I get where Paul Sheldon's coming from. And I don't know if Annie Wilkes would recognize me as a friend.
That's fair. Would Misery?
Always. Me and the animals are tight. How about you, Annalisa? Would you die?
No. And I'll tell you why. I can't let go of anything. So I would never kill Misery. Like, I don't care if she made me, for lack of a better word, miserable to keep writing. I would just beat that dead horse until it stopped spitting out money, as a great poet once said. Jeremy, would you die?
No. I'm from Michigan. I can drive in the fucking snow.
Okay, that's real. That's real.
And that's that. Austin, where can the people find you?
The people can find me mourning my main man Buster at all the social medias at Austin M. Torres. You can find the show's social medias at Would You Die Show. Check out our YouTube channel where you have where we have short films. I made a fun little 2025 recap video of over 80 movies, most of which I've seen. I watched a lot of movie trailers. That was fun to make. Come find us on Patreon, where for only $3 a month you can get our monthly bonus episodes, our weekly show Would You Ball, because we like sports,
We don't care who knows.
and our bi-monthly show The Godzilla Project, where we just put out an episode for Godzilla Raids Again, the movie where Godzilla.
Raids again.
Where can the people find you?
The people can find me in the cock-a-doodle car. But you can also find me on all the social medias at Whimsawillow. That's WHIMSI Willow. You can also find me on my brand new Tumblr at Whimsawillow. That's right, it's 2026, and I just created a movie Tumblr. So here we are. Check me out there if you're a Tumblr girly or guy.
We're bringing it back.
Exactly. So, we can talk movies on there if you want. Come follow me.
Is it 2015? You're making a Tumblr. I'm referencing Pitbull.
I wish. Jeremy, where can the people find you?
You can find me humming Maroon 5's Misery the whole time I watch Misery because I can't get it out of my head because I heard the word misery. You can also find me at Annually Funny on all platforms. I was gonna say you can find me not crashing my cockadoodie car, and then you said the cockadoodie car thing, and I had to really improvise there.
My bad.
Did
Now
I
I-
stick the landing?
You did, I think so.
Okay.
Now I just have a made-up scenario in my head where someone walks into Kathy Bates in the street, and they're just like, "Hey, where do I know you from?" "I am in misery."
It's so funny. Oh, man. Oh, that would have done numbers on Vine.
I'm still proud of the Haley Williams.
Oh,
like,
That was a good one. I like
before
that.
I got in the misery business. Say that again.
Oh, we have fun.
And we don't
Huge-
care who knows.
We don't care who knows. Huge thank yous to Jeremy Lippitt for producing our show. Thank you to Josie Palmer for doing the beautiful music at the beginning and end of our episodes. Please check out her music on Spotify and Apple Music. Big thank you for our graphics to Alec Gibson at Crosshook Creative. You can check out more of his work at wearecrosshook.com and on the Would You Die Show Instagram. Austin, do you have a hint for the next episode?
It's a Red Rob. Red Rob.
That's right, everybody.
Until then, I'm Austin Torres.
I'm Anneliese Petersmar.
Try not to die.